Hey, what's up? What's up? This is Augusta Onyx 360 podcast. I'm sitting next to the awesome, the wonderful, the legend, Edgar Nickson.
Thank you.
This is a unsung hero right here. I'm gonna blow him up for a few minutes, and then we're gonna get into the questions. So, I had the pleasure of training with him, as well as all of my children. More specifically, Yvonne. From the moment she was like 5-6 years old, we've known him just this long, and he's awesome at what he does. This isn't someone that just started. He's been around. I'm gonna let him we're gonna go ahead and get in it. I'm just a little too excited because it's a privilege and an honor to be able to interview him because, definitely some history here. So, Edgar, tell us what inspired you to get into mixed martial arts.
Honestly, at the time when I first got started, I was 18. What got me into it was just getting in shape. So when I was in high school, I did a few sports and whatnot, stayed pretty active, and then afterwards, afterwards, I didn't have much to do. Honestly, I had a friend of mine who was going to Rubles at the time. Mm-hmm. He kept telling me about it, and I tell him, I'll be there. And one day my mom looked at me as I was going to work and was like, "You getting fat." And that was a Friday.
Oh, wow.
Monday I was in the gym.
Wow. Man. Yeah, he also has the awesome circuit training classes. Oh my God. And by the way, shout out to Mark and John Grubel. Hey.
Great coaches.
Over the years, you've done a few competitions, snatched some belts. Which fight was the most challenging and why?
Challenging. That's a difficult question because every fight has their own challenges in a sense. I'll tell you, I can say two of the most memorable fights I had was one was when I went to Brazil with the U.S. national team.
Wow.
And was able to represent them. That was an experience that probably won't forget. At the moment, I'm actually training for another national tournament, and the winners of that tournament make the national team again. They go to Europe, I think.
Europe. Oh wow.
At the end of the year.
Wow.
Another real memorable fight I had was against another training partner. Actually, his name was James Peak. Back, I think 2009. It was the first time I went to a world tournament. Mm-hmm. Me and him both happened to be in the same weight class. And we kind of joked with each other at the weeks leading up because we trained together. And we knew we were going to be put on opposite sides of the bracket. So the only way we were going to fight were in the World Championship round. And in those leagues leading up, we kept joking with each other like, yeah, well, you ready? We're going to see each other. Like, we just knew we were going to fight each other, and we ended up fighting each other.
Man, I remember, and it's funny how you have that type of sportsmanship. I know when I was taking Yvonne doing her competitions, it was so bad that people was like, oh God, they're here. What bracket is she in?
Oh yeah, she was.
You remember?
I can imagine.
They were, yeah.
She was a beast, yeah.
But yeah, it's been great, man. You go into the gym. I think your posters are still all over the gym. You and the team, and the belts all over the wall. And he's been, still teaching, and it's just producing more athletes and more, guys in the ring as well as ladies. Man, I could talk about this all day, but we're going to get into another question here. So back in the ring after a bit, which all of us lost our darn minds, I know you said that tell us about the fight that was scheduled.
So I had a fight last weekend. Mm-hmm. That was actually the first fight since 2013. So that was it was exciting and eye-opening, all in the same. I wanted to get something in before I went to the national tournament since it's been so long. Didn't quite turn out the way I wanted to do, to be honest with you, but still it's kind of what I needed in a sense. I needed to get back in there, feel what it felt like again, remember what it felt like again. On on top of the fact I did going into that fight, I had a few challenges. They told me about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks beforehand, that I definitely would have an opponent. And I literally found that out the day after I had strained my groin. So I was coming off of an injury.
I know all too well about that.
And then everything shut down because of the ice and everything that hit. So it was a few things kind of piling on top of each other that kind of went against me. But like I said, in the end, it's kind of what I needed to make sure once I get to nationals, I know what I'm getting into and I know what I'm doing, and I'll be more than prepared.
Oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And as we mentioned earlier, he's training out of Grubels and teaching out of Grubels. So I know you teach out of Grubels, mixed martial arts. What class do you teach, and which one do you enjoy the most?
So over the years, I've actually taught a little of every class that we offer there, from the circuit training, cardio, the striking, boxing classes, and the jiu-jitsu. But at the moment, the only class that I have, on the regular are the 6 a.m. circuit training classes, and then I do a cardio class twice a week.
Nice.
Now, both of those classes, because I know anytime we talk about like the gym and fighting and working out, a lot of times it leads to back to competition. But most of the people that actually take my class don't compete. My circuit training class, actually no one competes in there. Most of those guys are 45 plus.
Wow.
But they just like to work out. They like to work out.
I remember
the back work
classes.
and things like that. And even the cardio classes, we'll have cardio right after it too. But we push everybody. I try and push everyone to where they want to go. So when I have a competitor in the class, I'm looking at them like, all right, we got to keep up with each other. If I have someone, it's their first day, they hadn't worked out at all in years, but they're trying to get back into something, I'm gonna tell them, hey, you might need to take this round off, breathe, jump back in. We're all getting water. 6 a.m., one of their sayings is it's a marathon, not a sprint. So when someone's new in there, we're like, if you gotta take your time, it's okay. But it's about coming back, showing back up. That's important.
Yeah, sometimes it can get a little intimidating. Sometimes you get people in there that's going like 90 miles an hour. And then it makes the rest of us are just there just doing our best. Like, I don't know, man. But eventually you tire out and then they're like, oh yeah, maybe I should kind of just,
And honestly,
pace myself.
With any workout, I always tell people it's not, especially if it's a group workout, don't judge yourself off the person next to you, because they could be competing next week. Right. But if you're judging yourself off of what you're able to do, or you're able to do a little more than you did last month, last week, whatnot, then you can definitely tell you're improving.
That's what's up. Well, I'll tell you what, I remember when this started, so I got so excited when I saw you preparing delicious culinary dishes. What inspired you to get into that, and are you still providing as a service? If so, how can folks hire you?
Well, so what got me into cooking, I guess I've always really liked cooking, and just like experimenting, I guess, in the kitchen, doing different things. My grandmother was a huge inspiration because she always would cook. And most of the times when she did, it wasn't just like a small little, it was, she's cooking and then several people are gonna stop by to get a plate because she has more than enough for everyone.
It's gonna be enough for the whole week.
Exactly. So like big events, I was definitely known for bringing home food for the week, because after 4th of July, Christmas and things like that, she would make a plate of macaroni sometimes just for me. It seemed like, because I would take that home and a bunch of other stuff. But that's kind of what really got me interested in it. As time went on, especially as I got into martial arts and whatnot, and I had to look at more nutritious things, type things, I knew I really had to kind of look into what I'm doing, not just go in there and throw things together, in order not only to make something that was going to be healthy for me, but taste good, because who wants to eat cardboard?
Yeah, nobody wants to eat cardboard.
But I've grown, actually, what was it? don't know how many years ago, but I went to culinary school. I went to culinary school because I wanted to really delve into exactly what I needed, what I should learn, I should say, which helped me out tremendously, not only in the kitchen, but on the this kind of business size aspect. Like they don't just kind of go over, this is how you prepare it. They kind of go over, all right, now if you're going to take it somewhere and do something with it, you got to have certain things in a row, ducks in a row, things like that. I still do like private caterings and things like that. Not as often.
Clearly.
But if I have had people reach out to me either via Facebook, Instagram, friends, if they have my number or something, and depending on what I have going on the date, definitely love to make time because it's something I like to do.
That's awesome.
One of my biggest accomplishments with it, I actually had a couple from Maryland reach out to me because they were doing a family reunion in Pigeon Forge, and while looking for private chefs for their family reunion, my name somehow popped up. And so I was able, after speaking to them, they actually came down, did a tasting, actually was able to go to Pigeon Forge, cater their whole family, which is really, it was a really nice thing to be able to do. Wouldn't mind doing it again, but I would say that was just kind of the biggest one. But I've done a few different types of caterings, Christmas parties. I've done a wedding, things like that, small wedding. But
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, if you brought a family down from Maine to Pigeon Forge, but yeah, you was putting your foot in them. Yeah.
I try.
Hey.
I try.
Shout out to my sister-in-law, Tess. Hey. Hey. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we sometimes we we do family trips. We have like a caterer like come out to the resort and whatnot. So just trying to throw your hat in. So on your spare time, when you're not the warrior in the ring or a culinary artist, and we're gonna get into coffee roasting in a minute. Let's touch on that real quick before I continue with this question, because you're also into coffee roasting.
So
Jack of all trades, right here.
So I'm honestly, like many Americans, I'm a coffee addict. I've had to actually like really watch my intake of it over the years because it can get bad. But it was a few years ago. I worked for Starbucks for a few years, which kind of really opened my eyes to a few other things when it comes to coffee. Since then, I found out that you can actually buy beans yourself and roast them, not just find a good someone that does it themselves. And ultimately, what I've been working on is kind of combining the culinary and the coffee together. As I'm roasting, I'm working on building a brand of coffee, and I want to, hopefully by this summer, I'm trying to partner with a friend of mine to do like pop-up shops where we would have like a coffee shop. I already have started logo and everything. It's called the Poorhouse Coffee Shop. Or Poorhouse Coffee Roast, I should say. I don't have a shop yet. But one thing the name comes from is a play on words for pour over coffee, which if you don't know, if you're not sure, there's several different ways to make coffee. Most people just have a little coffee maker that drips it out. One of my favorite ways to have it is pour over, where pretty much you have a cylinder right over your cup. You have the grounds right over there, and you pour the water over the grounds, and it pours right into the cup. Right. Very, 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 very delicious way to have coffee.
I've seen one of those before, but I use it as a strainer.
That sounds like that actually would come out really well doing that. That's almost sort of the way you make your teas,
Yes.
Yeah, you just kind of let it, drip into the cup. That sounds delicious, actually.
Now
it does.
I've learned over the years and trying to, I'm doing what I'm doing with the coffee. There's several different ways depending on how you might like it. I know several guys who prefer espressos. or even a French press. All the good. All that equipment I do have still at my house.
Oh,
I just prefer the pour over. It does take a little longer comparatively to other things, but it's worth it if you have the time.
Dang it, man! I should ask you to bring some to taste it. Like I don't even drink coffee no more because, for like I've had cardiovascular issues years ago from caffeine, so I've cut it. Like every once in a gray bluish moon, I may have like a cup, but I used to be. Starbucks I used to be their favorite customer.
So another thing I found over through time, I keep saying it, but just being us in America, I do believe, you go to places like Starbucks or things like that, you're getting a lot more caffeine than what you notice.
I believe it.
Because most people,
I heard they overload it. Like,
well, it's that and sugar sometimes, depending on what you get.
They want you to come back. I guess that's because they want you addicted to it. That's probably one way to look at it.
And what is it? I think the average, what they really consider the average size cup of coffee is about 6 ounces. Starbucks, the smallest you get, I think, is 10 to 12 ounces. So you're already getting more there, even with the espresso.
Wow.
That's about the same, but most people are asking for 3, 4, 5 shots, me included.
Yeah.
that's an addiction. I don't care which way you look at it.
Dear God.
The lines that I see in Starbucks, to each his own. If you're out there, you like Starbucks, that's great. But the lines I see wrapped around the corner for coffee is something I can buy at a grocery store. I'm like,
Man, I've been waiting for somebody to come out.
Now, I will tell you, when you have someone that knows how to make coffee and knows how to, and they have a really good roast, you'll taste a big difference in the coffee you get. There are certain coffees. I'll put it. I used to Circle K. They have pretty decent coffee. I really can't drink that anymore.
Wow.
And when I say decent, I mean it's okay. But when after having something decent,
quality, and now you're like, that's not like he ruined me with sushi, right? I used to get sushi, and I would be content. I started dating this man. He started taking me to places like Miyabi's or something like that, and I be in Kroger like.
Yeah.
it's hard to go back to hamburger healthy.
Yeah.
You used to filet mignon, baby.
Yep.
He's like, let me introduce you to something. I got you. That's funny. Yeah, you got me intrigued. Yeah, we're gonna have to get him on here to or next time we have an event, we're gonna have to ask him to come out and
definitely.
For sure.
Some coffee.
So
what do you do to unwind and have fun? Because you are so busy.
Honestly, I tend to keep to myself a lot. So, I do kind of like watching anime, things like that. And not honestly for fun, roasting coffee. So when I get in there to actually roast it, I have a notebook where I kind of keep track of different things, and I'm going back and forth trying to making sure everything is adding up, matching up to where I want it to be. At the end of the day, I'm like, okay, that's actually really good. And then just everyday regular. I found out something funny. I guess I listen to a lot of music, and I say that because Spotify is telling me I'm like the top 1% of people listening to music at one point in time last year.
You must never turn it off, bro.
I do play it in the. I'm on the go a lot, so I do play it in the car.
I'm sorry, you laugh so hard.
That shocked me, to be honest with you. I was like, oh. Okay.
It tastes like a beating string, so I guess you helping them out.
That's funny.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna kind of bounce this back to martial arts. Mm-hmm. If a young kid came up to you, I think most people have always kind of been through bullying. I mean, I had my phase where I kind of, been through, bullying when I was in elementary or middle school. What kind of guidance do you tell that kid as far as if, hey, they came up to you and was like, you know, Mr. Edgar, a Karate Kid moment, right? You know, teach me your ways or whatever. How do you guide a young person if they came up to you and they were a victim of bullying?
So, well, to be honest, we've had a few incidences like that. I used to teach the kids quite often. The kids were actually some of my favorite classes to teach because of how, I don't want to say moldable, to be honest with you, but how you can easily, they do listen. Kids, no matter how rebellious they may seem, if you can connect to them, they will definitely listen to you. So as far as like bullying, someone coming up saying like, hey, I need help with this. First thing I kind of work on, or I kind of try and talk to them about, is like their confidence. Most times, and honestly, most incidents that I've been in as an adult, even as a teenager, any incidents where I'm having to either defend myself against someone who is a bully or is trying to take advantage, just the confidence of knowing like, hey, you're not going to do this to me. I'm not going to allow this happen, whether it's I have to defend myself or I have to go get someone to come help me at this point, is enough to kind of help diffuse the situation, or at least calm it down to a point where you can talk to the person or go get help. I've had one student tell me, at least, that they got in a fight because of a bully. I've had another student kind of like not tell me they got in a fight, but they told me they was having issues, either them or their parents told me they was having issues. And I just reiterated with them as we're going, because I'm seeing most of them during like the classes and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I'm reiterating like, hey, whatever you're thinking is not it. For one, you're performing all these moves that the guys that are bullying you, and they wouldn't know how to do. They couldn't do this. And then on top of that, I've had kids that will get into sparring, and still kind of feel some kind of way. And I have to tell them, like, just like I tell the adults, not everyone's going to do this.
Yeah. Like
sparring and being okay with being hit, and then keeping your composure enough to be able to respond back in the correct way.
It matters.
It goes a long way, because that translates outside of this, honestly, to a person reacting the right way in any situation, instead of going straight to what some people say, I just see red. You won't see red whatsoever. You'll actually keep more of a clear head and be able to assess what's going on. Do I actually need to do anything, or am I just going to look at this person, have them realize like, okay, never mind, I don't want this, and then walk away.
Right.
It is a different, it gives you a different perspective, because just to kind of add to that, that's how my family started. My daughter was being bullied at summer camp. That's how Yvonne came to Rubles in the first place, is because her and her sister was bullied, and she was like 5. And it was like a YMCA camp or something like that. And then for me, it was during that particular time, domestic violence. I wanted to learn how to defend myself. So another thing too. So you can take self-defense classes. Those who are in these situations, look them up, because you could take this with you a long way. A lot of stuff I still remember, and it's been a couple of years since I took his classes. I can vouch for this gentleman next to me, hands down. Thank you for sharing that, because a lot of people, it's something that is not really talked about often, and that was an excellent question, babe, because some of that still goes on to this day. So I got 2 more questions for you. So who is the most influential, inspiring person in your life, or is there anyone that you like to give a shout out to that has made a difference in your journey?
Honestly, I can't say any one in particular person has made a difference. Everyone that I've met that has done anything for me along the way has made a big difference to me. From just being here right now, being able to do this, all the way down to friends being supportive, and my parents. Like my dad rarely ever misses any competitions I've ever had.
Wow. That's cool.
That's awesome.
And even this past one, he wasn't able to make it down to Florida, but he ordered the pay-per-view to make sure he watched it. My mom, she's never seen me fight.
Cool parent.
My mom's never seen me fight, but
I can't imagine.
since 18, or since I started competition, I think I started competing at about 19. She was like, "Yeah, I can't wait for this phase to be over with."
It's hard watching your son in any type of physical altercation, so I cannot imagine. So I understand. I understand.
But she even her, she's always been there. Like if I've ever said like, "Hey, I'm trying to make it to this tournament and I'm just this much short," she was like, "Well, how much? I got you." Or if I needed some equipment or a t-shirt, she'll try and reach out to someone or try and help me get it, do what I need to do to get what I want. Honestly, my dad's the same way. If there was ever this past fight I had to cut weight, I was up to probably about 1 in the morning, kind of trying to sweat it off, and I just had him. I'm like, "Hey, can you just stay awake and give me a phone call every 30 minutes just to make sure I answer, just to make sure I'm okay?" Because
wow,
that cutting weight can be dangerous, but I just needed him. I just needed someone to be there just in case.
Yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly of me trying to get that way in.
Yeah.
Oh my God, because it's bringing back so many memories. So I apologize. I remember we took Yvonne to Pan Am's. She was like 3 pounds under what she needed to be at. That poor girl was on the treadmill trying to
She was over or under?
She I can't remember which one it was, but she was off, and she might have been over. And so to make sure she made weight that next morning, we was in the gym. That girl was in there sweating, and we was like keeping the sweat. It was terrible. Yeah, it's terrible. We're already in California. We ain't going back.
Gotta make it now.
You mentioned t-shirts, so tell us about your t-shirts.
So right now, these t-shirts right here, I got them on sale at AugustaFighter.printify.com. I'm selling them to kind of raise money. So this national tournament, and honestly, most tournaments I go to are not free. They don't. I'm still considered amateur, and these Waco tournaments are they are what they consider pro-am events. They're looking for the best in the nation to go fight the best in the world, pretty much. So the pros that compete in these tournaments are not compensated. That way they can fight against some of the best amateurs in the world as well. But that being said, this national tournament is Waco National Tournament is going to be in Columbus, Ohio, at the Arnold Classic, February 28th through August 4th, I think.
Wow.
And we got travel expenses, which would include the gas, hotel, registration fees, doctor physicals, and things like that. So on that website, you'll have, I don't know if you can get a good picture of that, but this T-shirt says Edgar the Tank Nickson. Also, Bernard, if you remember him, he has a T-shirt.
I remember Bernard, tall dude. He had dreads too. Yeah, I remember Bernard. Console.
Yep. Me and him started. I think he started maybe 2 months before I did. Actually.
Oh wow.
We become real close throughout the years.
Dang.
But both of us, I have the Tank T-shirt. He has Judo Chop T-shirts, both for kids and adults, and we have hoodies. This is just the regular kind. And then also have a moisture wicking T-shirts as well. So if you want to work out in it, but want to make sure you're not just bogged down, all kind of trying to hit everyone with that. But
nice.
If you go to AugustaFighter.printify.com, you can pick you up one of these T-shirts, a hoodie for yourself or your child, either or. But the proceeds of those go directly to helping me and Bernard pay for all the expenses at nationals. It's gonna turn out to be about a few hundred, just under $1,000, I want to say, in total. So anything that we can get and help would definitely be helpful.
Yeah, I hear it. So let's support this brother. He's out here doing his thing. And the other gentleman he mentioned, another legend, Like this is like almost like a reunion right here. So
Honestly, it is. I don't think Bernard has fought since about 2013 either.
Man.
Me and him both kind of last year really started getting back into it and was like, yeah, this feels good. This feels like the old times. And we got some different stresses with just life being in there, kind of getting ready for this. It feels like old times, and we're kind of excited, we're very excited and want to get up there and actually do Augusta Proud like we've done before. Both me and him went there, did this before, 2013, that's when we went to Brazil. We both won nationals and was able to go to Brazil, try and do work and make it back.
Man, yeah, that's phenomenal. I do have one more for you. Lastly, is there any tips you like to give to parents regarding their kids who like to pursue mixed martial arts or adults who are also interested in competing? And anything else you want to tell the public?
Honestly, about the if you're interested in getting started, just do it. One of the at Gruber's Mixed Martial Arts, we offer a free week, so you can always drop by. They like you to set an appointment so they can kind of show you around, go over everything with you. But if you just want to try it out, you get a free week to try it out and then kind of go from there. It's not, I want to emphasize, it's not all about fighting. 95 to 97% of the people that are students there, or honestly probably at any gym, just go for the workout. They go to learn self-defense, they go to gain confidence, they go to make friends. It's a small percentage of the guys that really want to take it to that next level and compete. And if you just walk in there and give it a try, you'll see a completely different world, to be honest. Everyone,
it really is.
And everyone, including the fighters, are actually very welcoming. Most of the fighters that we have, you wouldn't know we're a fighter until you saw them hitting the bag and you're like, wow, he looks like he's getting ready for something. Oh, he is.
Yeah.
He was just helping me out with this technique that I didn't know about. And yeah, that's right. Just about everyone here.
It's the demeanor. The demeanor is different. You go from, it's like you evolve. You come in there, you're like 90 miles an hour. And then after it, it's like you reach a level of calm because you understand what you're able to do. So with that, it's like a quote from Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility, something like that. So you really start to think before you do things, because you know that the average person you could be fighting may not be as trained as you, and you could really hurt them. So it humbles you a little bit. It really does.
It does. I actually seen it was a little Instagram skit. I think someone was like, when you know Muay Thai and someone tries you out in the street and the guy, he kind of throws his guard up, he gets in his head and starts thinking like, okay, I guess it's gonna happen. Then the guy that was going about to fight him, he puts his hands up and he starts thinking the same thing. I guess this is gonna happen. Then they get to the thing, they're in their heads, but both of them are like, wait a minute, he looks like he knows something. Mm-hmm. Does he know anything? Are we gonna do this? Both of them put their hands down and walk away.
Yeah.
But it also kind of gives you a sense of awareness in the fact that not every altercation is gonna need to lead to anything, even if it looks like it might. For an example, actually, I had someone attack me and my partner in Atlanta a few years ago.
Oh,
not really attack. They were asking for money. My bleeding heart, I said, well, I got a few dollars in the room. I'll be right back. Didn't want to take that for an answer, wanted to follow me. And we said, all right, too late. Like, you're not going to follow me. We about to go on our way. He reaches, shoves my partner. I ended up grabbing him and pulled him back, pushed him back, and was ready to do what I needed to do to defend myself. But the awareness is, when I say the awareness kicks in, I was ready, but I'm analyzing him with his hands in his pocket now, turning, blading. I don't know if he's bluffing, if he has a knife or any other kind of weapon. I just need you to leave so we can leave. Yes, I'm ready to defend myself if I need to, but I'm not going to just attack without knowing what I'm attacking or stepping into. And you know, that kind of awareness comes with that. Like you were saying, do I need to I could actually hurt this person, or I don't know what this person actually knows or has.
This man kick, bro. You don't want to get kicked by Edgar. You don't want to get... I see him kick a bag. That thing like, pow.
And even for adults getting started, just step in there, because not everyone, not the classes, cardio classes, the instructional classes, they're not in there going, we're not in there going, all right, put gloves on, you don't have a mouthpiece, oh well, we're gonna fight it anyway. It's far from that. Yeah. It's more so, this is the technique, this is how you learn it, this is how you could use it. We'll save that for a sparring class. But it's more about the technique, the workouts, and learning than anything. Our oldest member, I think he's just turned 74.
Wow.
He doesn't fight whatsoever. He takes nothing but the cardio classes and the circuit training classes.
That's impressive. 74, jeez.
But he's in there pushing everyone, honestly.
Yeah.
So my best advice, if you're interested or you think you just want to try something new, you don't know if you're interested yet, just try it. Just go there. Once you get in there, most people fall in love. And if there's anything different, you've at least learned a little bit.
That's awesome. Wow. Well, that's all the questions I have today. It's been an absolute pleasure and honor.
Thank you.
You know, the moment I started coming across, I was like, I would love to, you know, pour back into him, because he has, you know, you don't even realize the impact you make on other people, you know. So thank you. Thank you for sharing this with us, and looking forward to your next fight. Y'all make sure y'all follow this gentleman. We'll make sure that, you know, if you want to go on Onyx and just throw your information out there so they can follow you, as well as keep up to date. Also, look him up for those services that he has to offer.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Can I say one last thing?
Sure.
So, jack of all trades. I do personal lessons as well, both fitness and instructional lessons. If you reach out to me, I can schedule pretty much any time, whether you're a morning, weekend, evenings is a little different because we got classes going on at the time, but we can still work something out. Let me see. If anyone reaches out to me, really wanting to help out, like I said, we got these t-shirts and personal lessons right now. Pretty much anything I get from personals is going towards helping out me get to nationals. So reach out if you're interested in anything. I'll be here.
That's awesome. So hey, you not only you're able to buy a t-shirt to help him out, you know, take him up on those classes. I promise you will feel the difference when you're done. I mean, in a good way. You will get what you paid for. You will get a workout. So, Edgar, thank you.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you.
And hey, if you guys have any questions, drop it in the comments. Until next time, deuces.